Was last year your worst year ever as a freelance writer, or is this year turning out to be your worst year ever? I'm going to walk you through how to get rid of ghosting clients, dried up referral pools, and relying on only confusing tactics or trying to do everything at once. We're going to move away from that, and I'm going to teach you how to book out your business months in advance. I'm Mandy Ellis. I built a six-figure freelance writing business, and now I help other freelance writers build five-figure months and work with dream clients without the overwhelm, stress, and burnout. And I help my students get long-term work over months and months. They have long-term contracts with ongoing work without all this crazy stuff where they're always chasing payments and working with red light clients. We're going to pop right into it. So the first thing I want you to kind of think about, the thing where we're moving away from having no clients or struggling to get more leads or referrals, and moving into kind of having our best year ever, is we're getting to the right strategy. So this is something that I think is really important, where we are optimizing our LinkedIn profile. We are optimizing our website. We are optimizing our LOIs, those letters of introduction that we send to our clients. We are optimizing our pitches. We are optimizing our processes, how we actually get clients. What do we look for in them? What are the green lights? What are the attributes of our best projects? What types of content should we be working on, or are we working on, or that our clients are working on? And then we're optimizing the actual work part, like the onboarding, the contracts, getting the upfront payment, making sure we're getting at least 50% upfront for our projects, and then also really getting our work done in an efficient and organized way. So I think here we're moving this mindset shift away from um, really trying to reinvent the wheel all the time, or really trying to get on the platforms, or where's the best place to find clients. It's really about honing your eye, and it's really about attracting the right clients and speaking their language on the places where they already hang out, the places where they're already in the process of looking for the right writer for their brand. So it's not something where you're just stuck in this endless cesspool. I call it the poop soup, but you're stuck in this poop soup all the time. You're really moving towards having your best year ever because you're optimizing all of these different places in the process. Now, I want to tell you about one of my students. So I have a student named Belinda. Belinda took Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, and she was really had a lot of slow snail referrals. So she was relying on referrals for a very long time, and she had her worst year ever in 8 years of being a freelance writer. She was confused about how can she create more leads, or how can she get more clients, or even how do we get better clients than just relying on whatever inbound leads fall into her inbox, right? And she was really struggling with LinkedIn and her website. But after she took Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, was on track. She's on track to have her best year ever in 8 years. So she went from the worst year she's ever had to the best year she's ever had by a long shot. She has 3 months of work booked up. She updated her LinkedIn profile, and now she has several of her best clients who reached out to work with her on LinkedIn. And she just landed another high-end client. And it's because she used this optimized roadmap. It's because she put these tested strategies in place. She got rid of the disorganization. She stopped relying on just straight up referrals and stopped waiting for people to reach out for her. She's really understanding how to attract and land these premium clients on LinkedIn. So when you are booking months ahead, this is really a shift. So let's talk about number two. When we're booking months ahead, it's really understanding that if you have work for the next 2 months or the next month, right, the next 4 weeks, you're already behind. This is a big mistake I see people make, and this is also why I talk about this in my free masterclass. So next week, I'm having a free masterclass. It's called How to Reach 10K Months as a Freelance Writer Without Working 40-Hour Weeks in 4 Vital Strategies. It will be on Tuesday, the 15th of April, Wednesday, April 16th, and then it'll be the following Wednesday on April 23rd. So there'll be 3 slots that you can join. In this class, I'm going to walk you through this. So we're getting away from this idea that having 2 weeks or a month of work is enough. It's not. We need to be booked out 3 to 6 months. Ideally, we have 2 to 3 months of work booked out at all times. The way to do that is to get with the right clients. This isn't just about, like just being where the clients are. This is knowing the attributes so that when you get inbound leads like Belinda did, when you are having people reach out to you, you know who's a yes and who's a no. We are booking these out so that we're continually filling up our pipeline. So we're booked out 2 to 3 months, right? We understand which clients to say yes to fill that 2 to 3 months. Then we're filling our marketing pipeline with our LOIs, our letters of introduction to businesses, and if you choose to write for magazines, pitches to magazines. But we're doing these two processes. We have our inbound working. We have our website and our LinkedIn pulling people in, and then we can go through who's reaching out to me. Is this the type of client I want? Do I need to update my copy because I'm not seeing the types of clients I want? Okay, am I seeing the types of clients I want from inbound? Okay, what am I doing with that data to then put that into my outbound, my LOIs and pitches? The types of clients I'm attracting on LinkedIn, how do I take that data and put it into the strategy for reaching out to clients? There are types of like how many people are at the company, what revenue is that company, what niche is it in, what types of content are they creating, what does their website and LinkedIn look like? Then relaying that to our outbound strategy for LOIs and pitches. This ecosystem works together to fill your pipeline. So not only do you have work from clients who are already on the train, right? They already want long-term work. They already understand that they're not doing one-offs. They're doing multi-month or multi-phase or multi-deliverable projects that you can be a part of. And then you are filling your marketing pipeline so that you are constantly booking out yet another month and another month. So once you're getting through this month, you still have 2 months of work, and this month, and you have 2 months of work. So this is a big mistake I've seen with a lot of freelancers who have their worst years ever or who really struggle is they're not doing enough marketing. They're not understanding how to attract their clients on LinkedIn. They are relying too heavily on referrals. They are trying to do old methods that don't work anymore. They're really not absorbing the data either. So when you're making this change from, worst year ever or burning out or feeling like you can't book up your business, a lot of it has to do with understanding these two things, that you need to attract the right clients and know who they are and look at the data of who you're attracting and fix your copy to attract the right clients. But then two, that you're using that data to then inform the process of who you reach out to. So these things go together. And the other piece too that I mentioned is the mindset piece. If you're booked up for 2 weeks, if you have work for 2 weeks or a month, you're behind. That's not how this works. You will end up in burnout. You will end up in overwhelm, chaos, stress if you're working in little 2 week chunks. You end up attracting all these clients who want you to do 24 or 48-hour turnarounds or 72-hour turnaround, or I need it yesterday, or like you're not respecting your own time and your expertise and your schedule. You're just shoving it in as much as you can, right? So it's sort of like your business is in famine mode. You are starving and you're just like shoveling in as much as you can rather than understanding like, well, how do I actually transition to feast mode? How do I keep the feast going and get away from the cycle of feast and famine? So that leads me to the next point. The next point, number 3. So when we're going through these switches, so we might be scared, right? You might be feeling nervous about like, well, how am I going to turn it around, or how am I going to get more clients? And I want to let you know that Belinda was scared about investing in Freelance Writer Wealth Labs. Like she was worried because she was having her worst year ever about investing in Freelance Writer Wealth Lab. And I get it. If you're having your worst year ever, you're like, maybe. But the deal is that it makes the biggest difference to be taught by someone who has dealt with difficult times in their business. I've had highs and I've had lows in my business. I have course corrected hundreds of writers' businesses so they now make the kind of money and have the time and have the schedule that they want. It really matters that we're using these concrete foundations that can survive the storm. So I get it, that you're worried about investing, or you're worried about joining a course that might be, it's 12 weeks long. We have 12 weeks together where we're going through piece by piece, and I'm looking at different parts of your business, and I'm answering questions, and I'm helping you see this thing from that thing, and I'm reviewing your stuff, right? That's really part of the investment. It's like, I didn't realize it until multiple students had said it, but the Wealth Lab really is a group coaching program. We're together for like 4 months, right? So we're together for, no, 3 months. No, it's almost 4 months because it goes from basically September to December, and then it goes from like April to July. So it is kind of like around 4 months, 3 to 4 months, but we're together for a long enough time to make a big shift in your business and for you to actually put things into place. So, investing in your business, and I know in my own business, every time I invested in a course, I made more than that money back. And Belinda is one story. Belinda is one story where now her best clients have reached out to her on LinkedIn. Like her best clients were the ones who saw her LinkedIn, her updated stuff. The when we went through her portfolio or profile on LinkedIn, her website, refreshed all that copy. They reached out to her. Those are her best clients, and I feel like, for me, when I invested in stuff, I make my money back. So I've had students more than make their money back by leaps and bounds. Some of them 9x or 4x or 3x or 2x their income. Some of them are getting one article or one client that more than pays for joining the Wealth Lab, and that pays dividends. For me, when I'm looking at a student like Belinda, or I'm looking at a problem that's like, how do we actually book out your business for 2 to 3 months or even 4 to 6 months? That's a thing that's driving Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, is really efficientizing, right? Making those processes and systems and templates more efficient so that you can kind of plug and play. You also get reviews, you also get feedback. And I'm there coaching you along the way. I'm there to say, like, oh, I tried this thing in my business and it sucked, but maybe we can try this and this. I'm also listening to what's going on in your business where I'm like, maybe we can try this. So there's different ideas we can talk about. There are different ways to land premium clients. And if you hate social media, you don't have to do it. A lot of times there are lots of other ways to get clients rather than trying to like build a brand, which takes forever. So I really want you to understand that you are building your ability to feel confident about reaching out to these higher end clients. You are feeling more solidified and good about the skills you bring to the table. So, if I can get you to see all the awesome stuff that you're doing in your business and be able to translate that into copy for your LinkedIn and website, you will attract the right clients. You will get this wave of clients reaching out to you so that you can be choosy about who you work with. Just like Belinda was, where she's updating her copy, she's doing things to attract the right clients, and she's being choosy about who she works with. This is kind of that piece about understanding LinkedIn, but understanding the copy and understanding how to speak to those ideal clients. So if I can take what you're struggling with and translate that into like, here's how you would move forward, that's my goal. I try to make it like as personalized as possible, and I'm there for my students all the time. But in this process, what you're doing is like combining these foundational principles of booking yourself out, of really trying to understand that the clients who are already creating ongoing work, those are the ones we want to align with. We don't want to convince someone, like, this is a thing I get all the time. I want to convince a one off to become a retainer. No, they're already the wrong client. I want to convince this client to do this other thing. You can't. You're already targeting the wrong clients. That's like, I want this orange to be a banana. Like, they don't go together. And if you've ever had an orange and banana situation with clients, let me know below in the comments. Like, I have definitely done some things where I'm like, I want this orange client to be a banana client, or this like coconut client to be like a gold coconut. And let me know about that if you've ever tried to be like, I want this, and, translate that in your clients below. But you have to understand the type of client that has this ongoing work, who you can book up your schedule with, who will be more amenable to you saying, like, hey, my initial project is a 3-month project. Here's how it works. Or my initial 3-month retainer works like this. Or here's the deliverables that have worked for other clients like you in your niche. Like, being confident in saying that stuff and understanding how to do that versus taking one-offs or trying to convert a banana client into an orange, right? Or an orange into a banana. Um, there is no way to convince someone to become a luxury client when they're already a Walmart client. That doesn't work. So I'm really showing you how to get those luxe clients, how they think, where they're going, how you can connect to them. And when you connect to them, that leads you into booking out. That mindset, like understanding how they think and where they are and what they're doing and why they're creating content, that leads you to booking out your schedule because you're speaking the same language, right? You're talking to the right people, you're attracting the right people, and then you're being choosy about the projects and clients you take on. Those are the key things. So when you're booking out, I really want you to get away from the idea that if you have 2 weeks or 1 month's worth of work, that you're good to go. Not the case. We want to be booked at least 2 to 3 months out. We want to make sure our next deadline is 2 to 3 months out, not 2 weeks away. And that you have this ongoing pile of work. This is the thing that keeps you away from feast and famine. It really helps you not rely solely on referrals or solely on whoever falls into your inbox. But it also increases the quality, right? It increases the quality of your inbound leads. And it really gives you the process. You actually understand how the process works to keep your calendar full over the long term. So if you want to join my free masterclass, you can go to mandyellis.com/course. It's how, sorry, it's how to reach 10K months as a freelance writer without working 40-hour weeks and 4 vital strategies. And that is there's 3 chances for that free masterclass. It'll be on April 15th, it'll be on April 16th, and then there will be another one on April 23rd. So I will put that in here where you can see where to sign up. If you go to mandyellis.com/course, you'll be the first ones to know about when they open next week. But I really want you to understand this booking out process. We do go over this in the free masterclass, but this mistake of thinking that if you have work for 2 weeks or a month, that's not going to cut it. And really getting to the right clients, the right 3 to 5 clients, the high payers and what they look like and how you can speak to them and how you can build your projects or how you work with them in a specific way so that you have ongoing work. That is really important. We got to get away from the tire kickers, away from the low payers, away from the one-offs. So I hope this has been helpful. In our next video, we're going to be going over really more about LinkedIn. So I talked about LinkedIn in here, and I talked about Belinda using LinkedIn. In the next video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why LinkedIn is the best place for high-end clients and how you can kind of move towards using LinkedIn effectively without posting all the time or being like a social media guru. So I hope this is helpful, and I will see you on the next one.